Well, we're making our way through the 2000s now in our season by season OHL history video series. And now we're at 2003, 2004. And it's still a 68 game schedule with 20 teams, something we're going to see from here on out as we do the series. But at the start of this season, though, the Ontario Hockey League announced that they would be renaming the Humanitarian of the Year award to the Dan Snyder Memorial Trophy in honor of the former Owen Sound player who died in a car accident in Atlanta. So a very tragic time, but a nice touch there by the OHL in memory of Dan Snyder as such a tragic incident involving the young player. And obviously, his impact was felt in his hometown community, being from the Elmira area, and then, of course, playing with the Owen Sound Platers. So a great move there by the OHL at the start of the 03-04 season. Now, diving right into the standings, let's go with the West Division first. The Sarnia Sting find themselves first in the division, a record of 37-23, 4-4, 82 points. What a year this was for the Sting. Second in the division, the Plymouth Whalers, 32-24, 9-3 for 76 points. While the Windsor Spitfires, third with a record of 27-33 8, 65 points. And fourth and fifth, both from this division, would not make the playoffs. So the Sioux Greyhounds missing out with a record of 30-34-3-1, 64 points, 1 point back of Windsor. And the Saginaw Spirit also missing with a record of 16-45-3-4 for 39 points. And that's because in the Midwest Division, you had some pretty strong teams. Starting off the London Knights, they had a record of 53-11-2-2, 110 points. Just unreal there as this Knights team taking shape as this next couple videos, we're going to be hearing a lot about the London Knights. Second in the Midwest, though, the Guelph Storm. They had a record of 49-14-5 for 103 points. The Kitchener Rangers, third with a record of 34-26-6-2 for 76 points. While the Owen Sound Attack, they were fourth with a record of 30-27-7-4 for 71 points. And the Erie Otters, fifth with a record of 29-26-6-7 for 71 points. In the Central Division, it'd be the Toronto St. Michael's Majors taking top spot with a record of 38-21-7-2 for 85 points. The Mississauga IceDogs, 2 points out of first, a record of 36-21-7-4 for 83 points. The Barrie Colts had finished third in the division with a record of 31-21-12-4 for 78 points. The Brampton Battalion, they were fourth, a record of 25-32-9-2 for 61 points. And the Sudbury Wolves, fifth in the division, 25-32-6-5, also 61 points to their credit. Shifting over to the East Division, the Ottawa 67s would take the top spot. 29-26-9-4 was their record for 71 points, while the Kingston Frontenacs, 30-28-7-3 for 70 points. That was their record. While the Oshawa Generals, third with a record of 30-29-8-1, 69 points. And then the Peterborough Petes, they would miss the playoffs with a record of 22-43-3 for 50 points. And the Belleville Bulls also missing the playoffs with a record of 15-44-8-1, 39 points. Just some very some weak numbers there coming from the East Division here in the 2003-2004 season. Now, the Oshawa Generals, they would get some new ownership for the first time since 1962 as the Humphreys family decided to sell the team to John Davies. So some change with the Oshawa Generals in the early 2000s. And now Eugene Melnick, he was the owner of the Toronto St. Michael's Majors, and they would have to play, they would end up playing 2 home games at the Canadian Tire Center in Canada. And remember, at this time, Eugene Melnick was also the owner of the Ottawa Senators. So he would play 2 games against the Ottawa 67s with the Majors, and he would bring his OHL franchise to Ottawa to play in the big arena, considering at the time playing out of St. Mike's College, the smallest facility in the Ontario Hockey League, and then playing in an NHL barn. So Melnick taking the chance there to showcase his team. Now, the London Knights dynasty would begin, or at least the strong play, as they would set an OHL and CHL record with this 110-point regular season. It's only going to get better from here. If you're a Knights fan, you know what's coming next. Meanwhile, the Sarnia Sting, this would be their best season in the league, winning their very first division title. So some good things here for the London Knights, who are turning things around with the Hunters in charge, and the Sarnia Sting finally finding a way to finish top spot in the West Division. Now, taking a look at your top scorers this year, Corey Locke at the top for the Ottawa 67s, 51 goals, 67 assists, 118 points. Second in scoring, Corey Perry of the London Knights, 40 goals, 73 assists, 113 points. Martin St. Pierre, third in scoring from the Guelph Storm, 45 goals, 65 assists, 110 points. Eric Himmelfarb with the Kingston Frontenacs, 37 goals, 70 assists, 107 points. From the Sarnia Sting, Daniel Siska, 34 goals, 66 assists, 100 points. Rob Hissey from the Erie Otters, he had 38 goals, 58 assists, 96 points. Mike Richards of the Kitchener Rangers, 7th in scoring, 36 goals, 53 assists, 89 points. Scott Shepard of the London Knights, he was 8th in scoring, 29 goals, 59 assists, 88 points. Patrick O'Sullivan of the Mississauga IceDogs, 43 goals, 39 assists, 82 points. And finishing 10th in scoring was John Mitchell of the Plymouth Whalers, 28 goals, 54 assists for 82 points. Going into the playoffs, let's start with the Western Conference. The London Knights, they would sweep the Windsor Spitfires in the opening round, while the Sarnia Sting, winning their first division in franchise history, upset in the first round by the Erie Otters in 5 games. What a tough break there for Sarnia. Meanwhile, the Guelph Storm, they needed 7 games to eliminate the Owen Sound attack, and the Kitchener Rangers upset in the opening round by the Plymouth Whalers in 5 games. Over in the Eastern Conference, the Toronto St. Mike's Majors, they would need 7 games to advance to eliminate the Sudbury Wolves. Meanwhile, the Brampton Battalion also needing 7 games to upset the Ottawa 67s. So a great first round there for the troops. Meanwhile, the Mississauga IceDogs would win their first playoff series against the Oshawa Generals in 7 games, while the Barrie Colts, they would take care of the Kingston Frontenacs in 5 games. Moving on to the second round of the playoffs, the London Knights, Erie Otters, Knights take it in 4 straight, while the Guelph Storm, they also would complete the series sweep of the Plymouth Whalers. Over in the Eastern Conference, the Toronto St. Mike's Majors against the Brampton Battalion. Toronto, no problems here, winning the series in 5 games, while the Mississauga IceDogs, they would defeat the Barrie Colts in 7 games. For the conference finals, the London Knights, their run would come to an end as the Guelph Storm, they would upset the Knights in the conference final, winning in 7 games, while the Mississauga IceDogs also upsetting Toronto in 6 games. So for the J. Ross Robertson Cup, we would see the Guelph Storm and the Mississauga IceDogs, the first time the IceDogs make it this far in their history. However, it's short-lived as the Guelph Storm would have no problems here at Mississauga completing the series sweep. So a great run here by the Guelph Storm. So they would go off to the Memorial Cup, and the 2004 Memorial Cup was being held in Kelowna. So the Rockets hosting this one. The Storm, they would join the Rockets, the Gatineau Olympic from the QMJHL, and the Medicine Hat Tigers, who won the WHL. Now this was, okay, so it was a sweep in the OHL final for Guelph, but it was tough going at the Memorial Cup. They would go 0-3 in the round robin. So the Rocket, they would end up winning the Memorial Cup on home ice against the Gatineau Olympique. So a great run by the Storm in the OHL playoffs, but once they get to the Memorial Cup, not able to get any sort of momentum going. Now looking at our award winners from 2004, we're going to start off with the Red Tilson. Corey Locke of the Ottawa 67s winning the Red Tilson and the Eddie Powers Memorial Trophy. The Matt Layden would go to Dale Hunter of the London Knights, while the Jim Mahan Memorial Trophy, Corey Perry of the London Knights. The Max Comiskey Trophy, it belongs to James Wisniewski of the Plymouth Whalers, while the OHL Goaltender of the Year, Paulo Koliakovo of the Barrie Colts. The Dave Pickney Trophy, Ryan McDonald and Gerald Coleman of the London Knights, they would split that one. The Ems Family Award, Brian Little of the Barrie Colts. What a rookie year for Little, and of course, now his number in the rafters at the Sadlin Arena. Now, the Dan Snyder Memorial Trophy, as I mentioned, this is the first year under that name and in honor of the former player. And Chris Campoli of the Erie Otters would win the first trophy. The William Hanley would go to Andre Benoit of the Kitchener Rangers. Martin St. Pierre of the Guelph Storm would win the Leo Lalonde Memorial Trophy, while the Wayne Gretzky 99 Award for Playoff MVP would go to Martin St. Pierre of the Guelph Storm. So that's the 2003-2004 season. Notice, too, that we've been hearing a lot of the teams from the Midwest Division winning championships, from the Erie Otters, the Kitchener Rangers, the Guelph Storm, and that trend is going to continue one more year. I'm not going to give anything away unless you're a London Knights fan. You already know it's coming. But that's as much as I'm going to say. So thanks again for tuning in, and let me know in the comments down below what stood out to you from the 2003-2004 season. What was your favorite memory, or what what's something that you'd like to see done again here in the modern day that was done back in the early 2000s. Love to see the interactions. Thank you very much for all your support. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and we will talk to you again soon.